Welcome back, everybody. It's Zach here, bringing us another fantasy football video. And so I'll be going over the final 8 games of Week 7, going through every single fantasy relevant player and doing what I can to help you guys get your lineup set. We just had a pretty fun Thursday night game, actually, a 31-30 finish, I believe. Actually, a 33-31 finish with the Bengals taking down the Steelers. So, very fun game. Great play by Higgins there. Sucks if you have him because he didn't get in the end zone, but he really smart there to slide at the end of the game. But obviously, really fun game out there. Always great to not get it done on Thursday. So excited about that. If you have any specific start-sit questions after this, just let me know in the comments below. And then if you guys are looking for any game that I don't talk about here, it means I talked about it in the video that came out yesterday. So just go watch that video. And then again, if you still have questions, just let me know in the comments below. So yeah, let's just get into it, guys. It should be a good one. Starting things off here, we've got the Raiders at the Chiefs. For the Raiders, Ashton Genty's a must start. Other than that, though, it's pretty okay to not play any other Raider. The only Raider that I'm really excited about playing this week is actually Michael Mayer. It seems like we're going to get another week without Brock Bowers, and Mayer's a good player, right? He was a second-round pick in his own right. It's just, you immediately get overshadowed by any team, on any team if they draft Brock Bowers. So it's not a downside or like a negative indication of how good Michael Mayer is, and he just doesn't do a whole lot when Bowers is on the field because he's just not Brock Bowers. But he's a good player. The matchup's not horrible, and last week we saw him go 5 for 50 with a touchdown. I like Mayer. He's a decent streaming option this week. Other than that, though, Jakobi Meyers, he might not even play. There's a lot of trade rumors circulating around him. He's got a knee and toe injury. I don't know if that's legitimate or not, but I don't want to play him. And then Trey Tucker, doesn't get me excited. I don't want to play Geno Smith. It's going to be Mayer and then Genty for sure. For the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, he's in, obviously. He's quarterback 1 of the season. He's running a ton. It'll be interesting to see if that continues now that he gets Rashee Rice back. It should be easier for him to manufacture completions, but either way, you're still playing Mahomes. I can't imagine sitting either Rashee Rice or Xavier Worthy. I prefer Rice over Worthy, but Worthy's been involved enough. This is a good matchup. You're playing him. Kelsey, low-end tight end option. I'm worried about how he's going to perform in this one. I think there's a chance that Rashee Rice sort of just makes him a little bit irrelevant in the offense. I would honestly play Michael Mayer over him, which is maybe a hot take, but I would do that. But I totally get it if you just want to play Kelsey again. And then I don't want to play any Chiefs running backs. This game could be a blowout, so maybe one of them scores a touchdown or two, but it feels gross. I would play Kareem Hunt over any of them if I had to, but again, it just does not get me excited. Next, we've got the Colts at the Chargers. Should be a really fun game here. For the Colts, every single week, Jonathan Taylor and Tyler Warren are going to be must-starts. Think you could do worse than Indiana Jones or Daniel Jones there. I'm streaming him in a league. I feel good about it. I don't think it's a problem at all. There may be better options as well, but you could definitely do worse there. Michael Pittman, probably right back into your lineup. You could flex downs if he plays. It sounds like he had a concussion that popped up during practice, so I'd actually expect him not to play in this one. But if you have to play him, you could do worse than him. He's been good the last couple of weeks. Sort of a bummer to see him get hurt because he was sort of trending up there. For the Chargers, Ladd McConkey and Quentin Johnson will both be in my lineups. I don't really want to play Keenan in this one. It's been a few weeks since we've seen anything. You get a little bit worried with these older players that trend down over the course of the season. Maybe their bodies are just breaking down and they can't really do it anymore. So a little bit worried about it, but you could play Keenan in the flex if you have to. I probably want to play Kamani Vidal in this one. There's no way I would play Hassan Haskins. Good matchup here against Indianapolis. I think Vidal looked really good last week. I really can't imagine sitting him if you picked him up, but you could maybe just be loaded at running back and happen to add Vidal as a depth piece, and then maybe you don't have to go there. And then Justin Herbert, a solid quarterback option. I bet he gets back into the top 10 this week, so I'd be playing him probably. Next, we've got the Giants at the Broncos. For the Giants, Cam Skattebo should be in lineups every single week. The matchup's not exciting, but Skattebo is just like the identity of this offense in New York right now, so you're playing him. You could stream Jackson Dart as a low-end option. I don't really want to. Again, this is a horrendous matchup. You're going to need Dart to probably run for 50 yards and a touchdown to make him good for fantasy, because I bet he finishes with sub-200 passing yards. But you can play him if you have to. You can flex Wandale if you want to, even if Josh Downs plays. I would play Wandale over Josh Downs. He's just important enough to the offense. He's not the kind of guy that's going to get shadowed by Patrick Surtain either, so I feel okay about Wandale there. Other than that, though, no other Giants I want to look at. For the Broncos, you got Bo Nix, low-end streaming option. I think I'd play him over Jackson Dart, but it's not exciting either way. J.K. Dobbins should be in lineups for sure. I know it was a bad week 6, but the usage is still there. The Giants are not a good defense in general. I feel pretty good about J.K. Dobbins. And then Courtland Sutton must start right back in lineups. I know it was a bad week last week, but you're playing him. Other than that, I don't really want to play anybody else. I don't want to look at Evan Ingram or R.J. Harvey or Troy Franklin or any of those guys this week. Next, we got the Packers at the Cardinals. For the Packers, every single week, it's pretty much the same thing. Josh Jacobs is a must start. You're probably starting Tucker Kraft, but you probably need a touchdown to be happy with it. Romeo Doubs, a low-end flex play, and then I don't really want to play anyone else. Of course, you can play Jordan Love or Matthew Golden, but Jordan Love. The problem with him is they're so good at winning without him doing anything. Like Josh Jacobs can easily go out there and have 3 rushing touchdowns every single week, and when that happens, it makes it impossible for Jordan Love to be good for fantasy. This should be a game the Packers win relatively handily. So I don't love it, but you could play Love or Golden as low-end options if you have to. For the Cardinals, Trey McBride must start every single week. Marvin Harrison Jr. Has been practicing in a non-contact jersey. You're hoping he clears concussion protocol, and if he plays, I would just play him as a solid wide receiver 3. The running backs here, Bam Knight, low-end running back play. You can use him if you need to, but again, it's a situation where you're going to need a touchdown to be happy. Michael Carter, same thing. You can play him if you have to, but he's an even lower tier option, less likely to score, maybe going to catch a couple more passes, but I'm not excited about any running back there, although I do have one league where I'm down bad. I am playing Bam Knight in that league. Then even if Kyler plays, I don't want to play him. I don't want to play Brissett if he plays. And then the receivers there, you've got Zay Jones and Michael Wilson. They're both dart throw flex plays if you need them, only if Marvin Harrison Jr. sits. But again, I don't want to use really anybody outside of McBride. Nobody outside of McBride excites me for Arizona this week. Next, we got the Commanders at the Cowboys. It's the highest over-under of the year at 55.5, so it should be a really exciting game here. For the Commanders, Daniels, Debo, JCM, and McLaurin all feel like must-starts. Keep an eye on Debo. It sounds like that heel injury is really bothering him, along with McLaurin. I think we're going to get McLaurin back, so maybe that's an excuse they use to give Debo the week off that it kind of seems like he needs. But if they're all active, you're playing those guys. If either Debo or McLaurin miss, I feel better about Zach Ertz. But either way, I think you can stream Ertz in a matchup where there's so many potential points going to be scored. Sounds like we're going to get CeeDee Lamb back, so you're playing him, and you're still going to play all the other Cowboys. You're playing Dak, Pickens, Ferguson, and Javonte. Ferguson probably takes the biggest hit with CD back, but in this over-under, in this environment, with how good he's been, there's no way I'm going away from Ferguson. So you're just going to play all the usual Cowboys, and then you're going to add CD in there. So it feels good to get him back. We've got a fun Sunday night game here between the Falcons and the 49ers. For the Falcons, it's easy every single week. You're playing Bijan in London. Kyle Pitts is in there if you need him, but you don't have to. And then Darnell Mooney sounds like he might be able to get back in the lineup this week, but I'm not starting him either way. For the Niners, Christian McCaffrey, a must-start every single week. Seems like we're going to be without Ricky Pearsall, but probably with Juwan Jennings in this one. It makes Kendrick Bourne a decent option. Again, doesn't excite me, but if it's Mac Jones, I feel better about it, but it does sound like we're going to get Purdy back, so it just makes me a little bit less excited about Kendrick Bourne. Either way, I'm not playing whichever quarterback plays for San Francisco. And then George Kittle, welcome back. Hopefully, it sounds like he's trending towards playing, and if he plays, you're playing him. Just have a backup in mind, obviously, because it's a Sunday night game. If you wait on him and he's a late scratch, you don't want to be caught red-handed. So make sure you've either got Tonjes or on Monday night you could play AJ Barner or something. So just keep that in mind. But otherwise, I think you're just going to play George Kittle. Got another doubleheader on Monday this week. For the first game of the Monday night, we'll have the Bucks at the Lions. The Bucks are certainly shorthanded. They're not going to have Bucky Irving, Emeka Egbuka, or Chris Godwin. It does sound like we're trending towards getting Mike Evans back, though. In that scenario, Rachaad White, Baker Mayfield, still must starts. I think Baker's just going to find a way regardless of who he has at wide receiver. Cade Otton, a decent streaming option if you need him at tight end. There's just nobody left that can catch passes, so Otton's a solid option. And I feel good enough about Mike Evans. I'm playing him if I have him in almost all circumstances, unless you're just loaded at wide receiver. But a good player, great matchup. They need him. I would feel good about Mike Evans. Just hopefully they didn't rush him back. And hopefully he doesn't re-aggravate that hamstring injury. For the Lions, all of them are in play. Gibbs, Amon-Ra, and Laporta, they're going to be must-starts. Goff, great streaming option. I'm streaming him in a league. I have him, so I feel great about that. And then Monty and Jameson Williams feel like they should both be in lineups. I bet one of these guys doesn't come through. It's probably going to be Monty if I had to bet, just because it's a bad matchup against the Bucks. Really good run defense, but again, with such a high over-under, I bet he's got a good shot of just falling in the end zone, and then he'll be okay. But Monty's the guy that gives me the most pause here. And the last game of the week, we've got the Texans at the Seahawks. Another really fun one for the Texans. Nico should be in line for a big game this game. Seattle's really turned into a bit of a pass funnel, so I feel great about Nico. If I had to play a Houston running back, it would actually be Woody Marks. Again, Seattle's got a really great run defense. I don't think Houston will have a lot of success running the ball. It means that Woody Marks might be the more valuable fantasy asset out of the backfield there, just because they could throw the ball to him some. Christian Kirk, low-end flex option if you need it. It doesn't get me excited, but I know some people just desperately need somebody they can throw in. Kirk is not the worst option if you have to go there. And I don't really want to play CJ Stroud. I get it if you want to stream him, but I just think there are generally better options. Although if Seattle's still missing Witherspoon and Love and Woolen, so if their secondary is just completely banged up still, you could definitely do worse. For the Seahawks, Sam Darnold, decent streaming option. Pretty much every single week, he's going to be like right around like quarterback 12 in terms of what I'd expect out of him. So you can always play him, but you never have to. JSN, though, you have to play every single week. Just a superstar at this point. You're playing him every week. But I don't really want to play any running back for Seattle. Honestly, I don't want to play any running back in this game. But if I had to play a running back for Seattle, it would be Kenneth Walker. He's just been so much more efficient than Charbonnet, but they just seem like they insist on giving Charbonnet at least half the carries. So makes it really tough. The Texans are a good defense, but if you have to play a Seattle running back, it would be Kenneth Walker for me. And then at tight end, if you have to, A.J. Barner is not the worst option, so you could look there. Got lucky with a big play last week, just sort of a broken coverage, but he's been involved. You could definitely play him if you have to. So that'll do it for Week 7. Good luck this week, guys. And then up next, you guys will get the waiver wire video that will come out next Tuesday morning. If you have any specific start-sit questions that come up before Sunday morning, just let me know. I'll be happy to get back to you. Drop that in the comments there. And then if you haven't already and you want to make sure you don't miss any of the future content, just make sure you subscribe to the channel. There are 5 videos every single week, and I will be here all year long to help you guys win your league. So subscribe to the channel. If you made it this far in the video, give it a thumbs up. It helps me out quite a bit, and I will catch you guys with the next one, guys. Peace and good luck this week. Thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, check out these other videos here if you haven't. If you want more content, please feel free to follow me on Twitter at RealSteelFFB. I'll be more active on there as the season goes on. Thanks. Catch you later.